Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. Good morning to all you good folks in Brownsville, Tennessee on 1520 AM and 95.3 FM. Of course, Bill Cooksey's home place up there, News Talk 101.5, the station in Jackson, Tennessee, and, of course, here in Memphis on ESPN AM 790. And this is a fourth Saturday, which means Bill Cooksey and Ron Wong are our co-host, and we've breezed through the first half hour, what we call the fastest 90 minutes in outdoor radio program, as we move closer. We're about 2 months away from our 20th anniversary show.
Oh, wow.
Which doesn't seem possible, but it is. I can imagine this next guest was he might have been in high school when I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I'm not sure. He just had he had a birthday and then won a tournament. I mean,
and what a tournament he won! He won one of those big blue trophies that every professional bass fisherman wants.
And he suddenly had more cousins than he knew when he got back to Wisconsin.
Especially with the paycheck.
Yeah, hey, we're happy to have Caleb Kuphall on with us. Won at Lake Guntersville, wire-to-wire champion, 85 pounds, 14 ounces, 4 days, became the first, if I'm not mistaken, elite champion from Wisconsin. And also,
congratulations.
Congratulations, Caleb, buddy. I know when you got back home to that, tell us the name of that town again.
My hometown is Mugwanago, Wisconsin.
I just want him to say it. It sounded like something like the Galapagos Island here for me. I would have trouble with that and everything.
Very exotic
name. But let's talk, buddy. I know that it had to be a big deal for you. I mean, you've won before, but to win it from wire to wire, and I've heard some people say, well, there's a lot more pressure on winning it wire to wire than maybe coming from behind. So talk about that and what it meant to you to win this tournament, Caleb.
Yeah, it was huge for me. I mean, just, this is my second year in the Elite Series, and, just to get a win this early just does a lot for me in my career and, my confidence, especially going forward. But, yeah, it was just an incredible week. I just, got onto some good stuff. I really didn't have that great of a practice, going into it. I thought that, my weights were going to be a lot lower than they ended up being, but it all worked out in the end.
Well, you know what made it tough for you, Caleb, is I followed that tournament throughout the 4 days. The first 3 days, you had to share your area with a lot of other elite professionals. How does that work on your mind to have to share an area where you share fish?
Yeah.
It was tough. I mean, especially the caliber guys that were in there. I mean, I had Corey Johnson on one side of me and I had Matt Herron on the other.
Yeah, so, right.
Pretty good.
Sandwiched between them.
Yeah.
Not good. But the way that tournament kind of ended up unfolding was a major part of it was my boat numbers, actually. I was a very, very late draw on the first day, and for some reason nobody went to that spot. And I was able to get on it pretty quick. And then on the second day, after having all that weight, I was boat number 2. So I was able to get in there and get on it, really early. And then obviously, day 3, I was an early boat draw, and day 4 too. So I was able to get there the last 3 days before anybody else could move in on that spot. And it was just a little sweet spot. There was a little sweet spot in the grass. And, luckily I was able to get there and kind of keep the competitors on the outside, kind of picking up the scraps. So.
Well, it helps.
That's pretty amazing.
It helps to go 27 pounds, 10 ounces in the first day.
You think about this, Larry, and Caleb will certainly talk about, Lake Guntersville, 65,000 acres.
Woo. Yeah.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And for these pros to find that one sweet spot, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
What made you go to that spot, even though you didn't have a very good practice? And also tell our listeners, Caleb, how did you catch your fish?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, finding that area in practice, like I said, I didn't have all that great of a practice, but the areas that I won in, I did catch some fish there in practice, and they're kind of the two best areas that I had going in. I didn't catch that kind of quality out of those areas, but in practice, you never really want to lean on anything too hard.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of want to know a spot is decent and then kind of expand on it during the tournament, and catch what you can out of it during the tournament. So, that's kind of the way it played out for me. Not a great practice, but just an awesome tournament out of those areas.
And how did you catch them?
Yeah, as far as it was just a flipping deal. Basically, I had two main areas. I had one that was about 6 foot deep, and it was just solid milfoil up to I had about a foot on the top, so it wasn't surface stuff. It was submerged milfoil.
Yeah.
And I was just pitching a 3/4 ounce tungsten weight Zoom Z Hog is what I caught pretty much all my fish on in the California 420 color. And that was pretty much it. Straight shank VMC flipping hook I had on there, 50-pound Power Pro braid. I was using a 7.4 St. Croix heavy action Avid X. And, that was pretty much my setup. And then when I finished with that spot, I'd move to the mats. And the mats was pretty much the same setup, only I would use an ounce to get through that stuff instead of the 3/4 ounce. So everything else was pretty much the same.
Pretty cool. We're talking to Caleb Kuphall of Wisconsin about his win wire-to-wire at Lake Guntersville back in May. And I know this is something I read up a little bit about you. First BFL tournament when you were 17. I think your grandfather was helping you on, and Ron was just talking about 65,000 acres of Lake Guntersville. You grew up fishing 2 15-acre ponds. With your granddad and things along that line. So, is this what you wanted to do growing up?
Well, yeah. I mean, it's always a dream, for a lot of us. I really didn't think it would eventually happen, but you just kind of climb the ladder as you go. You want to get as high as you can, and
yes.
You start off fishing that way, fishing the clubs, and I started out in the BFLs. Didn't even have a boat back then, just fishing as a co-angler.
Yeah, that's where it starts.
Just kind of happened. You keep moving up and up and up, and eventually you get there. So,
Caleb, the Bass Elites now moved to what they call the Northern Swing, and of course, it's important to you to get a few more points so you can qualify for the Classic next year. How do those systems, those water systems up north, set up for
He
you?
is up north, man. I mean,
but
close to
it. That's catching lots of smallmouths.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
largemouths.
How about it, Caleb?
Yeah, it's a different deal. I mean, you're fishing more smallies up there than anything. I'm going to try, especially at Champlain, to exploit the largemouth bite there. You can pretty much win with either, or a mixed bag there. So, I'm going to try to do a little bit of that. And, up north, there's always a lot of grass around. I'm super comfortable with fishing that stuff. So, a lot of milfoil and that. So, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Last year, I ended up making the cut at Champlain, and I ended up making the cut in the St. Lawrence River, and I missed it by one spot at Champlain. So.
Okay, well, this is important.
Hopefully up my odds.
Well, I've got you on my fantasy team.
Oh, listen to that. Here he goes. He's now trying to do this.
No pressure.
I've got him on my fantasy softball team.
No pressure.
I've got him on my fantasy softball team.
Oh, do you?
Can you think of the name of his softball team? How about the River Monsters?
That's cool. That's a cool name.
That's a cool name, Caleb.
That's cool.
It is. I thought that up too. That was all me. So.
That's all you?
Oh, really?
So do you get to play that when you can? Do you still try to play a little bit of softball when you can?
I do. I think we've had 6 or 7 games so far this year. I've made only 2 of them, but we're right around 500. So.
All right, that's
cool.
Pretty important, and the family I know is important to you because I read somebody. Our good friend with the Bassmasters, I can't remember right now, but wrote a story, and you got home and you had meatloaf. I mean, that's my kind of guy right here. I mean,
one of my favorite things.
You make the 12-hour drive. You got the blue trophy in your truck, and you get home and they got meatloaf ready for you.
Wow.
I mean,
you can't beat that, can you?
No, you cannot beat that.
Gets.
I mean, but because of that. But it looks like the roots there, being the first from Wisconsin, what does that mean to you?
Yeah, it's pretty special. I didn't know that I had that, that title or whatever, till Mercer, said that I was the first on stage. So,
yes,
it's just kind of a crazy deal. I'm glad to be the first, but I'm sure it won't be the last. We got a lot more, really good Elite Series guys that are from Wisconsin now. So
yes, yeah.
I'm sure it won't be long until another one comes home.
And I know you want that classic experience too. So these are really important for you coming up. You've tasted the classic. You really want to get a better taste, right? I mean,
absolutely. That's always the goal for any Elite Series angler or anybody really.
Are you in the cut right now?
I am. I'm sitting in 33rd, and it takes 39, possibly a few more. So
good.
Yeah, that's a lot more meatloaf. I mean, when he gets right down to it. So,
hey, they got some pretty good meatloaf in South Carolina.
Here we go now. Yeah, he'll eat meatloaf. I bet if he goes there, he might eat a steak. If it comes down to that.
I don't know.
Hey, Caleb, we appreciate you, man, being with us. Glad we were able to work this out. Again, congratulations, wire to wire at Lake Guntersville. Continued success. I know you, Ron's got you in his fantasy league, so now the pressure's on now for Ron's sake. But
I'll see you down the road also, Caleb.
Ron Wong will see you. Thanks, Caleb. All right, buddy.
Sounds good, guys. Yeah, thanks for having me on.
All right, have a great one. All right, Caleb Kuphall. And, I'm no.
I have to tell you,
Bill's
to
taking this
win one of those Big Blue Elite trophies is
Blue.
Something else. And
and to drive back to Wisconsin and know all the cousins and the uncles are
that's
all
so
coming
cool.
and he's coming back to family. Lee, that's pretty cool. All right, let's take a break. We'll wake up Cooksey here in just a minute and get him back out of.
He's away.
He's in Texas.
I'm wide awake. I was just thinking about walleye.
Oh, walleye.
Ooh.
Yeah, that sounds like pretty good.
There you go, Bill.
All right, we'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray.